Everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I just want to talk about something quick instead of recording a whole video. I like going live, so let's go ahead and talk about something. I was getting a few comments on my TikTok. I love engaging with people on my TikTok because they ask like real questions. And I see that a lot of people are struggling with abstinence and purity because of loneliness, right? Loneliness is driving so many people to the left, right? They are doing things that they normally would not do because they don't want to be alone. And being afraid to be alone is one of the worst things that you can do because it makes you act out of character. If you were confident in yourself, if you were confident in just being who you are, whether someone around is around or not, you make decisions based on your morals and your values and not out of this need or this fear or this hole in your heart. One, there shouldn't even be a hole in your heart, and we'll get into that in a second. But you don't need to do extra things or settle for things that you normally shouldn't just because you want someone to be around. Now, I don't know if it's because of how I was raised or just how I, developed as a person, but I never felt the need to forced relationships. I never felt the need to do something out of character just because I wanted someone to be around. I didn't mind, going to the movies by myself, going out to eat by myself, traveling by myself. I've traveled to different countries by myself. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do things because no one else is around. And that also led me to not make certain decisions or have someone in my life, i.e., a relationship or have sex with someone, just because I didn't want to be alone. And when you suffer from that loneliness and wanting to be alone, man, people who come in your life can smell that. It's kind of like blood in the water with sharks. Like they know you don't want to be alone. So they're going to treat you like you don't want to be alone. They're going to offer to comfort you and be in your life and spend time with you, but they're not really going to care about what's best for you. And this topic is about abstinence when I'm referring to this loneliness. So, I know a lot of women get into relationships with no good men because they don't want to be alone. They settle for no dates. They settle for people talking to them all kind of ways, calling them out their names, just doing all kind of stuff to them because they don't want to be alone. And I don't care who you are. You ain't finna talk to me any kind of way. You have to respect me. And I don't think a lot of women feel that way. They don't demand respect because they don't want to be by themselves. They want to be comforted. They want to always have someone to laugh with. And we as humans, we weren't made to be alone. That's why in Genesis, God brought Eve into the equation because Adam wasn't meant to be alone, right? He needed a helper. He needed someone to assist him. He needed someone to laugh with. He needed someone to cry with. And of course, you won't be alone forever, but it may be a time period in your life, in your singleness, where you don't have someone with you at all times. But I need you to be perfectly okay with that and realize that even though you may be by yourself, you may be alone, in the natural, you're not alone spiritually because God is always around you. He is always assisting you. He is always with you. And one of my favorite scriptures is all the ones that talk about God is always with you. Joshua 1:9, Deuteronomy 31:6, I believe, where he will never leave you. He will never forsake you. God is always around you. He goes before you. He is with you. And I had to take some time, like when I first got saved in like 2011, it took me a few years to kind of get that down in my head to be like, okay, maybe I don't have no one to share this news with right now, but let me go talk to God. Let me go to the park. Let me have a little picnic, and and really drill that into me that I am not by myself. I am not alone. So when I was introduced to a man who may have been fine, who was nice and pleasant and complimented me and got me things and just was a great company to keep, I didn't settle for what he was offering when he was trying to tempt me. When I made my commitment that I'm going to be abstinent, when he tried me, when he tried to put his hand on my thigh, I quickly said no. I didn't think in my head, I can let him go further, because if I tell him no, then maybe he'll leave. And maybe this is the last time, he'll come to my house, or the last time he'll invite me over, or the last time, we'll go to hang out and go to the movies or go out to dinner. I'm not like the other girls. The other girls probably let him do whatever. You don't have to worry about that, because whether he leaves and never talks to you again, I don't care if he bought you a car. If he never talks to you again, it's okay. Don't lower your values and your standards just because you need a warm body next to you. And yes, there is a literal need for company, because like I said, we're not born alone. We weren't born on an island. We were born to be around each other. But that is not just because there's something that we as humans need, you're just going to have to get that feel other places. You're going to have to branch out and, get be a part of friendships and develop friendships in a church community, and really, 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 really lean on God, so that you are not focused on the fact that you don't have that male attention. A lot of things that we do as women, we do for attention, whether we know it or not. We crave attention. We need attention. And so when a man is coming to you, coming at you, tries you, wants to get in between your legs, you have to have a standard. It can't be, oh my gosh, this is the first time in years that a man has really showed me any quality time, has really pursued me, has even taken me out on a date. So, a little sex won't hurt, a little something it's not the end of the world. He says that he loves me. And and it means nothing. If you have a standard, if you have a value, if you have morals, if you have made a commitment to stand in purity, if you have made a commitment to God to not give in to temptation, to keep yourself pure until you are married, that is the standard that you live by. It don't matter who, him, Joe, Smo, John, Joe, whoever, whatever he has to offer, don't matter who comes along, you live by a standard. You don't need a warm body next to you. And I know I'm like belittling it, because if you really love somebody, you see them more as a warm body. Okay, obviously. But I need you to realize at the end of the day, between God and him, he just a warm body, okay? He is not your savior. He is not your Lord. He is not a person who's going to send you to hell or send you to heaven. He's none of that. We serve God, the one we dedicate our lives to. And so I just kind of want to talk about that today, just get that off my chest, inspire somebody, help somebody who is struggling with that, because I know that a lot of women are in between what to do because they don't want to be alone. Maybe you're even living with a man and you don't want to be alone paying that rent, okay? There's a standard that you live by. When you honor God, God will help you. God will look out for you. He will promote you. He will assist you. He will find a way for you to pay that rent by yourself, or downsize so that you can have a rent that something you can just afford. You don't need to do things just to have a person. You're not desperate for nothing. Only thing that you're desperate for is the Lord. Is to love him and to spend time with him. Everything else can be here today, gone tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to do a quick live instead of shooting a whole video. Anyways, I hope y'all have a great day, and I hope that inspired somebody, and I hope that was just for somebody, because listen, I had to learn this the hard way, okay? I love y'all. I'll see y'all later, and have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving. If you celebrate it, I don't know. Bye.